Texas Best, Matthew, hope you're having a safe and warm week. Texas Republicans really hate Muslims. Let's get into it. So the primaries are coming up, and GOP candidates are racing to the bottom, fighting and bickering over who's the most racist. And the target for this cycle is the Muslim community, along with, the typical transgender community, the immigrant community, black community, immigrants, women, gays, bis, you get the gist. But a lot of the ads you'll see here in Texas are drawing attention to the spread of Sharia law, and how these big, strong Republican men are the only ones keeping the barbarians outside. All right, to catch you up, there's two big talking points that you'll see people fighting over. One is Epic City, a planned residential development around a mosque north of Dallas, and then also a Afghan refugee resettlement program that Texas has. John Cornyn first. He is our incumbent senator. He used to support the resettlement program and the increase of special immigration visas for Afghans after the Taliban took over their home country back in 2021. Now, this makes a lot of sense because these Afghans helped the United States fight the Taliban. So when we had to leave, they left too. Cornyn flipped because of the shooting of 2 National Guards last year by an Afghan immigrant. An immigrant who was a child soldier that the American military utilized and that the Trump administration then greenlit letting into the United States. But we know how the story goes. No more immigration from Afghanistan because that's how Republicans are raised. When one kid acts up, the whole family's getting the belt. Now he's just like every other Islamophobic propaganda purveyor saying the same bullshit that every single one of them says. And complaining that the others are just not saying it with their chest enough, Recently, he's called Islam a bloodthirsty ideology and requested that the federal government investigate the religious discrimination going on in the Epic City program, an investigation that yielded no results and was quietly shuttered by the DOJ last summer. He also said that Sharia law has no place in American courts or in American communities. Yeesh. What is Sharia law? Let's see. The primary purpose of Sharia is to guide individuals, families, and communities toward righteousness and God's pleasure. It is generally understood to prioritize justice, mercy, and the public interest. Well, we can't have that, can we? According to Cornyn, if Sharia law has no place in American courts or American communities, then followers of Sharia have no place. Practicing Muslims have no place. Therefore, Muslims just do not have a place in American courts or communities. That means they can't be judges. They're not welcome in our neighborhoods, in our cities, in our towns, not in our libraries, schools, and all of that is according to John Cornyn. We're going to circle back to this idea of religious discrimination in a minute. Now, on to Ken Paxton, truly the worst that Texas has to offer. So he's running against Cornyn in the Texas primary. How he finds time outside of cheating on his wife and accepting bribes from the highest bidder is beyond me, but he does. But he and Cornyn have been posting attack ads declaring the other does not hate Muslims as much as they themselves do. It's who's who of the shittiest people among us. In response to one of Cornyn's ads, Paxton writes, "This desperate Hail Mary can't erase the fact that he, Cornyn, helped radical Islamic Afghans invade Texas and that his family's making a fortune securing visas for foreigners." Cornyn then replies, actually, he, Paxton, is soft on radical Islam, claiming that Paxton directed $2.5 million to resettle Afghan refugees here in Texas. And his former attorney, who defended him during impeachment proceedings, is now representing the East Plano Islamic Center, the Epic City north of Dallas. Although Paxton himself has called the Epic City an illegal land development scheme and a radical plot to destroy hundreds of acres of beautiful Texas land and line their own pockets. He's also stated that Texas has the right to exclude private schools from the school voucher program if they violate the recently signed anti-terror laws, declaring that Texans' tax dollars should never fund Islamic terrorists or America's enemies. Texans' tax dollars are meant for his pockets, silly. It's always funny to me when Paxton calls out other politicians and organizations for corruption when he, Ken Paxton, is the dirtiest, the slimiest, the most corrupt Texas politician we have in office right now. He's been impeached on bribery and abuse of public trust. He's cheated on his wife multiple times. He's defrauded investors. He's accepted bribes. He's been on the radar since 2015 for shit like this. So when he says that Cornyn and his family are making a fortune, or that Muslims are lining their pockets because they're building a safe community for themselves, just know just know that when he tries to take a moral stance on shit like tax dollars, he has profited more than most. He is as corrupt as they come. Ken Paxton. And now, moving on to Greg Abbott, this one will be really quick. So he said that the presence of the planned Muslim community raises national security concerns. That Muslims coming together and forming their own community is a threat to our nation. He has also legally banned Sharia compounds. He's designated the Council on American Islamic Relations a terrorist organization. He's also labeled and designated the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization. A couple of things really quickly. America is the land of the free, where you can worship what you want. Sharia law is foundational to Islam. To outlaw and ban Sharia law would be akin to outlawing and banning the Ten Commandments. So drawing your attention back to the concept of religious discrimination as brought up by John Cornyn, what would you call attacking a faith? Saying that followers of that faith, they can't be judges. They can't be teachers. Their schools are held hostage. They're designated as terrorists. They're not welcome in your community. The fact that their book of faith is being burned as advertisements. And the worst part of all is this makes no difference in your life. There's still no jobs. There's still not enough houses. Nearly 2 million Texans are about to lose or are currently losing their health insurance because of the lapse of federal funding for subsidies. They're still arresting potheads. Schools are being shut down. Energy costs are going up. Groceries are ridiculously expensive. Every winter, the state just fucking falls apart now. Our tax money is going to building super prisons and funding the secret police. To be quite honest with you, I don't give a fuck what Muslims are doing here in Texas. I want health care. I want lower rent. I want to be able to go buy a protein shake at H-E-B that doesn't cost $6 fucking dollars. The Texas GOP has it's lost the plot. This doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant. There are real life changes Texans are looking for, and hate Muslims it just ain't it, Chief. It's just that's not happening. Oh my goodness. How does this fix anything? Anything. Whatever. Early primary voting has started today as of January 26th, and it goes on until February 6th. So you have 2 weeks to go over. So you have 2 weeks to vote early, and then election is March 3rd. This is all for primaries, by the way. And then election will be March 3rd, and we'll see who's going up against who. Thank you, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.